Do you ever feel like you're stuck in a loop of self-reflection without moving forward? Maybe you've spent hours journaling, analyzing, or even talking to friends, but when it comes time to take action, nothing happens. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Many of us get caught between insight and action, wanting change, but feeling paralyzed by fear and uncertainty. But what if there's a way to bridge the gap and start moving forward with clarity and confidence? Well, stick around because today we're diving into how to create and connect insight with action to have meaningful change in your life. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kyira Wackett, and this is your space for learning how to live with purpose and authenticity, free from the traps of fear and shame. Today we're talking about the connection between insight and action, and why both are essential for lasting change. So let's start with a truth many of us don't want to admit. Insight alone won't change your life. Sure, self-awareness is powerful. It helps us understand our patterns, identify fears, and define what we truly want. But without action, insight is like standing at the edge of a pool, knowing how to swim, but never jumping in. The other side of this coin is action without insight. When we rush into change without understanding our why, we end up chasing goals that aren't aligned with our values or burning out when things get tough. See, the magic happens when insight and action come together. When clarity fuels courage and we start making intentional choices that align with who we are and what we want. So let's pause here. Can you think of a time when you were stuck? Maybe you had clarity, but you couldn't take the leap, or you jumped right into something without thinking it through. Reflecting on these moments can help us understand why this connection matters so much. Now that we have some examples in our head, let's consider the challenge of building insight. Now, one of the biggest barriers to action is staying too long in the insight phase. Self-reflection can feel safe. It gives us the illusion of progress without requiring risk. But the truth is, insight can also be a trap. It keeps us in our heads, overthinking every possibility and feeding the fear of failure. So I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, am I spending too much time analyzing instead of acting? Is my fear of failure or uncertainty holding me back? It's important to remember that insight isn't about perfection or having every answer. It's about understanding enough to take the next step. And that's where action comes in. So now, let's talk about what stops us from taking action. The number one thing, fear. Fear is our biggest reason. We worry, what if we fail? What if we're not good enough? What if this doesn't work out? And these questions paralyze us. But here's the thing. Fear is normal. It's your brain's way of protecting you from the unknown. But fear doesn't always mean stop. It means pay attention. Instead of letting fear freeze you, use it as a signal to lean in with curiosity. Ask yourself, what's the worst case scenario? And how likely is it? What's the smallest step I can take right now? What would success look like if I tried? So now as we move forward, I want you to consider what practical steps we can take to connect insight and action. First, define your why. Spend time clarifying your values and goals. Why does this change or this work matter to you? Second, identify one action. Break your goal into tiny, manageable steps. Pick one thing you can do today to move forward. Third, reframe fear. Instead of seeing fear as a stop sign, treat it as a guide. What's it telling you? How can you address it without letting it control you? And finally, reflect and adjust. After each of those micro actions, reflect on what worked and what didn't. Use that insight to guide your next step by reaffirming and connecting to your values each time. Now let's make it even more accessible. As we wrap for today, I want you to take 10 minutes and put this into practice. Start by writing down a change you want to make. Then answer the question, why? Why do I care? Next, you're going to write down that one small step you can take. From here, we're going to list any fears or worries that are holding us back. And we're gonna work one piece at a time, or honestly, even if you just pick one, to try to reframe, to think about a different way you might be able to view it. There's going to be a link in the show notes that talks about the concept of cognitive reframing, which is a really powerful tool here to help you in this process of shifting the way that our fears are showing up and the role that they play in our brains. Then we're going to start again with that, trying a little bit of action, reflecting, reframing, and moving forward, that back and forth teeter-totter between that insight and action. Now, if you come up with any other great ideas, tips, tools, or as you move through this, you feel stuck and you want a little bit of support, that's what the comments are for. So put down all of your questions, comments, concerns down there, and let's build that community of support as we all work to find that balance and to make meaningful change in our lives. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you found it helpful, please click that thumbs up, hit subscribe, and of course, share this video with someone you think could benefit from hearing it. Remember, you have the right to author your own story. So let's go get that pen back. I'll see you next time.